to our board meeting this evening. Please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amy, would you take roll call, please?
Mrs. Talby?
Here.
Mr. Gilbert?
Here.
Mr. Detzel?
Here.
Mr. Heather?
Here.
Ms. Slattery?
Here.
Our mission statement reads, "The Northwest Local School District will create a responsive learning community where all students are valued, challenged, and guided along a pathway to success." And I need a motion and a second to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Okay, passes 5-0. Thank you.
All right, so tonight we're going to start, earlier this year we lost a staff member from Pleasant Run Middle School, and so we have some family members here and staff and Ms. Driesbach who are going to commemorate Tim Wingerberg.
We come together today to honor and celebrate the life of Tim Wingerberg, a beloved member of our community and the Northwest Local Schools family. Tim's journey began in the very district where he later dedicated much of his career. He attended Northwest Local Schools, graduating from Northwest High School and eventually returning to serve the same community that shaped him. Tim was a cornerstone of the Pleasant Run Middle School family, a dedicated member of the Northwest Local School District's custodial team. His dedication extended beyond his duties, always approaching his work with an infectious positivity and a strong sense of responsibility. His service wasn't limited to just the school district. Tim also gave his time and energy as a former member of the Ross Township Fire Department, where his sense of duty and care for others truly shone. Tim was more than a coworker. He was a friend to many. Known for his quick wit and sense of humor, he had a unique ability to lift spirits and bring laughter to even the craziest of days, which were many. Whether at work or during one of our famous Christmas parties, Tim's presence was felt. He embraced the social side of life, always eager to join gatherings outside of work and strengthening the bonds that made our team feel like family. But perhaps what stood out the most about Tim was his compassion for the students he encountered daily. He cared about their overall well-being, showing kindness and understanding in all of his interactions. He made an impact on the lives of the students and colleagues alike, leaving a legacy of warmth and generosity. Tim leaves behind his loving wife, Tammy, his 2 daughters, Krista and Ashley, his son, Ryan, and 6 beautiful grandchildren who are the light of his life. Though we will miss his presence dearly, the joy, humor, and dedication he brought to every aspect of his life will live on in our memories. Tim, you will be remembered not just for your hard work, but for the love and laughter you brought to all of us each and every day. We miss you dearly.
Thank you. He was a remarkable man and was a light that lifted up all of his colleagues. He was someone that, no matter when I was in the building, we always interacted, and he was such a lovely man. So we are so sorry for your loss.
No. Thank you for being here again, and we're sorry for your loss, Tammy. Thank you.
So our next presentation is celebratory. We have every year our PTAs have our Teachers of the Year. Last year, Hamilton County actually took one of our teachers and won the Educator of the Year from the entire Hamilton County PTA Council. So we have Karen Hood here, Principal Struble, to introduce this amazing staff member for us.
Good evening. Thanks for having us. So Northwest Local School District is proud to announce that Kate Triantos, a dedicated fifth grade teacher at Struble Elementary, has been named the 2024 recipient of the Hamilton County Council T and PTA Educator of the Year Award. This esteemed award recognizes educators who actively support the PTA and make a meaningful difference in the lives of their students. Kate stated, "I'm so honored to receive this award and feel privileged to represent the Struble community. Being an educator is the huge part of who she is. Growing up in White Oak motivated her to be a positive influence for the students in our community. She stated that she cherishes the opportunities to volunteer at PTA events as they allow her to connect with students and their families beyond the classroom. She hopes that every student leaves her class knowing they are valued, capable, and that they matter." Kate's impact on students at Northwest Local School District is immeasurable. I stated that she embodies the qualities that every administrator seeks in an educator: a strong knowledge of curriculum, exceptional classroom management, and awesome rapport with both students and parents. Beyond the classroom, Kate serves as our building tech liaison, promoting positive student news within our school community, and actively participates in school activities and family events. She is truly a valued member of our Struble family. Please join me in congratulating Kate Triantos on this well-deserved recognition and celebrating her unwavering commitment to fostering a supportive and engaging learning environment for all students. Congratulations.
I just want to say thank you so much. I worked in 2 schools before I came to Northwest, and I really feel like in Northwest and at Struble especially, I've found the place where I am supposed to be. I just love it here, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In our third presentation, we go back to Pleasant Run Middle School. We have our principal here as well as one of the teachers from our Butler Tech program, Nick Argentati, who is going to talk about our program at the middle school and some of the student experiences they've been able to have through BPA.
Hi, my name is Nick Argentati. I'm the Butler Tech Information Technology teacher at Pleasant Run Middle School. And we also have an extracurricular activity called BPA at the middle school, and it's also at Northwest High School. It's provided some amazing experiences for students to be able to travel different places throughout the years. They compete in a variety of competitions. They're choosing to do this after school, spend their free time coming to meetings after school and working on their events and presentations, and they have to compete locally against White Oak and Coleraine. We have a local competition, and if they finish high enough in their event, they get to go on to state at Columbus, and then if they finish high enough at state, they get to go on to nationals. And last year, nationals was in Chicago, Illinois, so we took, I think, 7 or 8 students, and one of the groups, or one of the teams we took, their event was called Presentation Team Event, and their topic was they had to create a presentation as if a foreign exchange student was coming to Pleasant Run Middle School from another country. They got to pick the country, and they had to kind of highlight the differences between education in that other country and in the United States, and then also kind of prepare them for what they might be experiencing at Pleasant Run Middle School. So we had 4 students, a 4-student team. We had Lily Pulowski, Cameron Hall, Nate Williamson, and Jordan Samuelson. And we have several of the other students had practices and other commitments tonight, but we have Cameron Hall here, who's going to do the presentation and kind of show you what he did last year. So I'm sure he's going to do a great job here.
Hello, my name is Cameron Hall. I was on BPA. My team did presentation management, as Mr. Argentati said. And so I'm just going to show you my presentation. So welcome to Pleasant Run Middle School. We're very excited to have you at our school this year. So we gave an introduction. So in this slideshow, we covered basic cultural differences, school rules, policies, and general information about our school that will be important to a German foreign exchange student. So first, we went over our rules. So in Pleasant Run Middle School, we have an acronym, and it's PRIDE. It's P for positivity, R is for respect, I is for integrity, D is for dependability, and E is for excellence. We're an inclusive school, so we accept everybody. We went over language. Most people here speak English, with some speaking Spanish or both. The majority of people in Germany speak German or Dutch, but a little over half the population also speaks English. If you don't speak English, there are teachers here that will help you learn. We gave them a pie chart to show what languages people here spoke. So about 80% of people here speak English. 13% also speak Spanish. A few, like a very small percent, speak Chinese, and then around 7% speak other languages. We went over what kinds of food we would serve here. We often serve cheese or pepperoni pizza, buffalo chicken dip, cheese or hamburger, walking tacos, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or ham and turkey sandwiches. And we also went over some of the foods that a German student may eat. So that would include potato salad, sausage or wurst, pretzel, roll it in schnitzel or sauerkraut. We went over religion as well. Most people in the area are Christian, Jewish, or atheists. Religion here is not much different from in Germany. Some commonly celebrated holidays here are Christmas, Easter, Hanukkah, Ramadan, and Passover. Most Christians here go to church each Sunday. Educational opportunities. We at Pleasant Run Middle School offer after-school tutoring, applied reading, advanced classes, math group, and academic support for those who may need help. We conducted a survey, and we asked 50 students if they were satisfied with their learning here. Around 30 said they were very happy, 12 said they were somewhat happy, and 8 said they were not happy. We also offer various mental health opportunities that we went over. Hope Squad, which is a student-led mental health help group. We have 2 school counselors, teachers and trusted adults, and we have breaks during and between classes. We went over homework. The average amount of homework for an American student is about 4 hours, and the average German student, however, spends about 2 hours on homework each day. German students are encouraged to do their work after lunch, which they go home for. Students in Germany do not return after lunch, which obviously we stay at school for lunch, so I felt like that was important to include. We have some important staff members to go over. We have our principal, Ms. Driesbach. We have our deans, Ms. Jump, Ms. Lewis, and Mr. Imhoff, but some Ms. Jump and Mr. Imhoff have either left or changed positions. We have our counselors, Ms. Haas, Mr. Combs, and Ms. Christensen, and we have our nurse, Ms. Mason. We went over the types of electives you might have here. So we had band, orchestra and choir, technology, art, gym, exploring world regions, Spanish and French, and health. We have school events. We had school dances, assemblies, sports games, concerts, a field trip to Washington, D.C., which is obviously 8th grade exclusive, and dodgeball tournaments. If you look to the middle of the screen, you'll see the dodgeball tournament winners from, I believe, a year ago. We had to blot out their faces so we didn't have to sign a bunch of release forms. There's many sports here that are available to students. Among them are basketball, American football, wrestling, golf, track and cross country, and volleyball. Some common sports in Germany are soccer, ice hockey, handball, basketball, skiing, and golf. We offer many clubs here. Among them are student council, which I'm a part of, art club, music club, honors orchestra, and BPA, obviously, and Christian student fellowship. And more students that we had to blot out. So yeah, thank you for choosing our school, and that's it. Thanks for having me.
Great job, Karen. I don't know who wouldn't want to come to your school after hearing about all that, except for maybe the homework part. Did you guys talk to Ms. Streesback about 2 to 4, going down to 2 hours? Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, that was awesome.
Good
Thank you
job.
very much. Great job.
Step outside for your photo, and then any guests that would like to leave, this is an opportune time. You're welcome to stay for the entire meeting.
He's a good speaker.
Really?
Yes.
Be Lindsay's assistant.
Huh?
You could be Lindsay's assistant.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Wingberg.
Student achievement?
Yeah, we do have some student achievement to go over. We'll start first with the academics. And Northwest Local School District is pleased to recognize the outstanding achievement of its elementary gifted students on the Ohio State test. Elementary students who were identified as gifted by their reading, writing, or superior cognitive abilities are invited to join the ACCESS program, which stands for Academic Center of Creative Enrichment for Student Success, when they are third graders. The gifted students at Montford Heights Elementary had 90% of the tests taken scored at the advanced level. And this achievement ranked the Montford Heights Elementary gifted students in the top 8% of the state for the 23-24 school year. And this also gave them an excellent gifted performance index of 119.7. So pretty impressive work by those students. And also to be celebrated are the gifted students from PRE and CE. They earned achievement scores placing them in the top 25% of the state of Ohio. So those are both something really to be proud of and to be celebrated. The next thing we want to go over is to monitor student achievement goal in our District's One Plan. The district utilizes common district assessments composed of release questions from the Ohio State test. Last week, our 8th grade students completed their first common assessment in science. The 18 students listed on the slide scored at the accomplished performance level on this first test. So another great start for the school year with those students. Next, we'd like to move on to athletics. And Struble Elementary would like to recognize their grade 3 Little Card cheerleaders for earning first place in the West Claremont competition on September 29th. And we'd like to give congratulations to Scarlett Dunn, Lola Dalton, and Cassidy Briscoe on a job well done. Next, we'll move on to White Oak Middle School, and they would like to recognize several members of their Warrior cross-country team. Outstanding performance goes to Donovan Enterline. Exemplary leadership goes to Cheyenne Carraher. Most improved runner goes to Robert Wagner. And growth as new runners goes to Clara Mae McCoy, Landon Fry, Brady Fry, and Hayden Fry. Next, we will move on to fine arts. And Struble Elementary would like to recognize the 12 students listed on the slide whose artwork will be shown at the Ohio State School Board Capital Conference in November as part of a digital display. We would also like to thank their art teacher, Chris O'Connell, for celebrating his students' art abilities in this special way. So job well done there is also. Next, we'll go to citizenship. And the Corey Middle School Attendance Action Committee would like to recognize 94 committed Cardinals who currently have perfect attendance. No absences, no tardies. And we would like to thank these students and their families for helping CMS reduce chronic absenteeism to improve student achievement. Hopefully that becomes contagious and we see more and more of that this school year. Next, Coleraine Elementary would like to celebrate their September Cardinals of the Month. 30 nominations were received, with the following 6 being selected. For kindergarten, we had Beverly Velasquez, 1st grade Xander Conley, 2nd grade Luca Burfield, 3rd grade Journey Sperling, 4th grade Lexi Schrank, and 5th grade Chaz Wynn Jr. Their behavior best exemplified the SOAR expectations, which are safety, ownership, achievement, and respect. And then last, we have the area of community service. PRE would like to congratulate the students selected to the 24-25 nightly news team. Those students are Musam Gurung, Emery Williamson, Emma Johnson, Zamaya Lane, Madison Wise-Carver, Anta Diop, and Colton Dolby. This team is sponsored by teacher Nicole Deutsch, and they will present a live newscast to their school every Friday. And that's all for tonight.
All right, awesome, thank you very much. Butler Tech?
Yeah, just one thing, Nicole, that last Wednesday was the groundbreaking up at the Bioscience Building. We just wanted to thank Congressman Davidson. He sent a representative for the groundbreaking, and Lieutenant Governor John Houston, their assistant, was there. And then just wanted to give a thanks to the Butler County Commissioners, who actually gave $15 million for the 3 projects that are underway at Butler Tech. So just wanted to give them a shout out and thank them for that money. That's it.
Thank you. Chris, any legislative updates?
It is, per the last 4 or 5 meetings, Nicole, they're still on recess for the election. I did look today to see if I could get numbers on the voucher, if there's a significant increase from 23, 24 to 24, 25, and I couldn't find any numbers as hard as I looked. I don't know, Daryl, are you aware of any numbers on how the vouchers have increased this year from last?
From last year, they did increase. I don't have the numbers off the top of my
For
head.
this year? Okay. Yeah, I think they're just waiting for it to stabilize. So as soon as I get it, I'll pass it on.
All right, appreciate that, thank you. Any employee organizations?
Yeah, we do have one tonight. Lori Reilly, our Assistant Director of Curriculum, is here and is wanting to share some updates on our implementation of our new CKLA curriculum at the elementary school, and has an exciting guest.
Yes, absolutely. Come on up here, Janice. Good evening, everyone. I'm here to talk about my favorite topic, literacy. We are excited that we are 6 weeks into our launch of CKLA, and while the work is hard, our teachers are doing a fantastic job. I wanted to say that and get it on the record because they continue to amaze me each and every day with the level of planning they are doing, their intention to just get it right and do right by our students and really see different results. The main reason, however, I am here today is to talk to you a little bit about a partnership that we were able to enter into this summer with Amplify. Amplify is the company that produces CKLA, and they started a new program called the Amplify Transformers Program. And Janice Lane is here from Amplify, and she's been here today and will be here all day tomorrow joining us in this program. And the goal of the program is to really support our launch of CKLA, to make sure that it is successful, to make sure that we are providing the support that is needed, but also as leaders, myself, our reading specialists, our administrators, to support us in that change process and all the things that we need to consider. The work didn't end when we chose the program. The work actually just started when we chose the program.
What does CKLA stand for?
Core Knowledge Language Arts. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Janice Lane, and she's going to tell you a little bit about the program, and then also just share some of the things that we saw as we walked around the district today, getting into language arts classrooms and seeing all that magic.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Thanks for having me here tonight. What an honor and a pleasure to be joining you all. As Lori said, I am the VP of Customer Transformation, which is just a fancy title to say making sure that CKLA really does impact students the way it's intended. So it was a great honor today to join Lori, Brenda, the team, and visit. We actually visited 23 classrooms today, seeing the magic happen with your students, with your teachers, with your school leaders, as well as with the specialists that support the work. As Lori said, part of our work around transformation is really making sure that this becomes a reality. And so part of that is looking at change management, looking at continuous improvement, and then looking at the science of reading and the work that has to happen to make CKLA real. And it's happening here, so you should be super excited by that. We spent time in classrooms. I have, I think, 6 pages of notes, but I tried to summarize them just quickly for you tonight. As Lori highlighted, your teachers are really committed to this change process and really taking it on by trying the new learning. We spent time in a 5th grade classroom where a teacher had all of her sticky notes. There probably were about 15 sticky notes over a book that she had prepared the questions. She knew when students were going to respond, how to prompt students to get into that work. There was also an example of a teacher in kindergarten who was working on beginning sounds and skills for students. She was easily able to incorporate the work that she had done in letters training alongside the skills development that she was doing here, and there were about 20-ish kindergarten students who were bouncing out of their spots to be able to share the words like ran and tan and different things that they were learning. Back to students, completely engaged and building their knowledge in ways that is just contagious. We spent time, they were building evidence for their reading, for their writing, for the ways that they were thinking, and really confident in sharing that information. There was one classroom where a 3rd grader was asked to give an adjective for the Queen of Hearts as they were reading Alice in Wonderland. And he said, I'm going to use the adjective mad. And then he turned to his partner and he said, I don't mean mad like angry, I mean mad like crazy, because nobody would listen to the Queen of Hearts. So gave the whole definition of why that word that he chose as an adjective was the one to really be succinct in what the identification was. There was a group of 1st graders that we spent some time with who were really digging deep into the human body. They were able to talk about the circulatory system, what it does. They were studying how nutrients deliver food to your body. I joked with Lori afterwards and said, no snacks for lunch, because now I know the healthy versus the non-healthy food that the kids reminded us. But the excitement in the schools is just amazing. I would share with you, if you hadn't had a chance yet, make a drop and a stop in. We saw beautiful displays of learning. We saw excitement around that work. We also spent time with a committed group of instructional, I think you call them reading specialists, in the buildings that are really working to make sure that the systems and structures are in play, because we know change can be difficult for folks. So we want to make sure that they have pieces like planning time, feedback on the work that they're doing. So I just am completely honored to be a part of the work that you're doing. I can't wait to study alongside you and be back at the end of the year to celebrate the results, because if you continue on this trajectory, I'm sure there are many great things that we'll have to share along the way. So just wanted to say thank you, and thank you for your commitment to Amplify, and we appreciate the time to be able to commit back to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Lori. Community comments. We have one person, Kathy. And just a reminder that you get about 3 minutes, and that we can't respond to questions, but we can take questions and get back to you later.
Do I introduce myself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good evening. My name is Kathy Noland. I am a parent of 2 Coleraine Elementary students and a Coleraine Middle School student. I'm here to comment on the transportation and the bus cancellations. I sent an email on September 27th where I asked a series of questions, and those were not responded to, and I realize you can't respond to them now, but I'm going to re-ask them anyway on the public record. So my questions are, how is it determined which routes are canceled on which days? Is there any data on school attendance on days when bus routes are canceled? Is student absenteeism due to transportation affecting test scores or the state report card? How is any of this being tracked? And has anyone visited Coleraine Elementary parking lot at dismissal, especially on a day when there are multiple bus cancellations? In the meantime, since I have sent that email, I've done some research talking with some other parents in the district and lots of contacts in other districts. And Mr. Heather invited me to speak with ideas on reasonable solutions. So I have some questions and some ideas for that. Have bus drivers been surveyed to help come up with solutions, like why there is still a shortage? Can we get the bus drivers training paid? I watched the previous board meeting upon Nancy's recommendation, and I watched the transportation department's presentation, and that seemed to be a sticking point. There was also a comment made during the transportation department's presentation about getting the bus drivers to 8 hours. I didn't fully follow what that meant, but that was confusing to me. If the bus drivers' routes start at 6 a.m., I don't see how there would be a situation where they wouldn't get to 8 hours unless they're not being paid in the middle of the day. At Winton Woods, for example, bus drivers drive their morning routes, then work as paras in the afternoon hours, and then drive their afternoon routes so that they have uninterrupted work days. And there are other requirements of our drivers that other districts do not have. And then have we reached out to other districts to see what is working for them? There is a shortage of bus drivers, but no other local districts are canceling their routes. And I have a lot of comments from people from other districts that all geographically touch ours. Including Lakota, which did have a lot of bus cancellations about 2 years ago, but since they have outsourced to Peterman, they have not had any cancellations. I feel really passionately about this because I feel like this is where the education gap begins. I am able to get my students to and from school because I have somewhat of a flexible work schedule, as does my husband, but many of our working families do not. I've talked to single parent families who can sometimes get their children to school, but their children are forced to walk home on Springdale Road with no sidewalks. I think there has to be a better solution. I think simply blaming what is happening in our district on a bus driver shortage is complacent. And I think we have to do better for our families.
Thank you.
So for the consent items tonight, we'll start with human resources and then business.
We seek your approval for the following: 6 resignations, 3 retirements, 1 change in status, 15 initial appointments, and various supplemental items, leaves of absence, and job abandonment.
We have 2 donations tonight. The first is a monetary donation from the Morris Furniture Company to Coleraine High School Band. And the second is a monetary donation from Ryan Greenwald to the Montford Heights Elementary School.
So with that, the superintendent recommends the board approve the consent items as listed.
So moved.
Second.
And then I know there were questions about our bus hiring and our status with that. So Susan and Chris can share the cancellations we've had since the last board meeting and where we are with hiring.
Thank you.
So in terms of staffing, we have a need for 57 total drivers, and we now currently have 57 drivers. We are continuing to increase our number of subs, and so we have 2. Our desired number is 10. We have some folks in pending status, and you may remember at our last board meeting, we talked about how that's the requirement that they go through the background checks and different pieces. We also have 4 drivers in training. 2 of those drivers are very close to joining us, and the 2 others are in that 4 to 6 week time frame where they're working on their training. And we have, out of 7 van drivers, we currently have 6 with 1 pending.
So the 57 that we have, does that include the 3 directors, manager level people?
No.
No.
Okay. And then, is that 57 that are driving as a 2-day, not ones in training?
Correct.
Okay.
Daryl, how many cancellations of routes?
Chris has that.
Yes, so the past couple of weeks, we've had 21, 31, and then it's dropped down to 11 last week. Later in the week, Thursday, Friday, we had 0 and 1, and then today we had 2. So we are seeing some improvement. So hopefully once we get some of these folks on board, we can get that back to where it needs to be, 0.
And we'll continue to be hiring because as we get into flu season and
Absolutely. So our goal is to have all 10 of those guaranteed sub spots filled.
And you can update us at our next board meeting?
Yes, sir.
And each board meeting afterwards?
Yes.
thank you.
Is the 10 subs, is that 10 because that's how it's budgeted, or could, if we had an opportunity, could we get 20?
So right now, we're going to try and get as many as we can. So there are some folks in a casual sub status, and we definitely use those individuals as well. Our guaranteed subs just show up every single day. So we also have casual subs who we just had orientation with one last week. She had retired as a driver, lovely woman, wanted to come back and drive Tuesday, Thursday mornings. We'll take you, right? So we have those folks too.
Any other questions? Passes 5-0, thank you.
So good evening. Tonight I ask the board to dispense with reading of and approve the September 23rd regular meeting minutes as listed.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions for Amy on that? Passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then we do have an item here that was on for information last meeting. It is the adoption of a textbook for our newcomer English learners. So the superintendent recommends the board approve the adoption of the curriculum resource as listed.
So moved.
Second.
Passes 5-0, thank you.
And then our next item is an out-of-state field trip for Corning High School Marching Band. As a note, the field trip has already occurred. They did submit the request in advance of the trip, but not in enough time for the previous board meeting. So we did know about this before they went on the trip, and it was approved.
Okay.
So the superintendent recommends the board approve the trip as listed.
So moved.
Second.
Passes 5-0, thank you.
All right, and then just a couple of updates. First, we are coming up on our fall break, which starts this Friday. Our staff will be in PD on that day, and then Monday is fall break, so the kids will have that 4-day weekend. Just want to give an update on a couple of things that came in, but not in time for the update for the student achievement. Our Northwest High School band competed in a competition this weekend at Loveland, and they finished first in their class for best music, visual, percussion, and guard. And they finished fourth overall, which was the highest showing they've had since 2019. So they're off and running with a great season. We also had an art student from Corning High School, Ashley Heibel, who won first place in a Cincinnati Art Club competition. She did compete against 40 other artists and will be winning a $500 prize as well as a full ride to an art camp in Michigan for the summer. The media has reached out about this, so that may be hitting the news, and we want to make sure that you were aware before it hit there. So we are excited for her accomplishment. And then we do have our annual PAFR that's coming out to all of our community in the next couple of weeks. And so we just wanted to highlight that that is a way that we communicate with our community about the financial status of the district. In there will be an overview of our one plan and the 3 main areas that we are going to increase academic achievement, reduce chronic absenteeism, make sure students' attendance is getting better, and create a strong classroom environment with a reduction in discipline. And then it'll also highlight some of the financial aspects of the district.
Yes, we send those PAFR out to give a summary of the prior year financial status. And so we had spent 76% of our overall general fund budget on instruction, which is above our 70% benchmark that we trend and track to stay within. We also are the lowest spending per pupil in this Hamilton County at $10,104, and the average in the state is $12,396. And then we make sure that we're maintaining, aligning our resources to our instructional priorities, maintaining our 3% partnership with our community, and maintaining our cash reserves.
And we're excited with the focus on academics and the alignment of our resources. The CKLA curriculum is off and running, and we're seeing some great progress there. So we're excited for that to continue, as well as some other areas to bring kind of the academics up system-wide. So we're really excited about that. And that's it for tonight.
Thank you. Excuse me. Chris, any comments?
Just wanted to congratulate Colerain High School for a really nice parade and a near upset victory in the football game. There was absolutely just a positive feeling at the whole event, absolutely no trouble at all. So I'm glad to see things starting to slightly turn positive on the football field, and certainly appreciate everything the boosters and the PTAs did to make the parade a success.
No comments tonight.
Nancy?
Just really enjoyed the presentation, that Amplify and CKLA presentation. Hope to at some point get to go in the classroom and observe that. Sounds like the kids are really on fire for reading, which is wonderful. And I really enjoyed Cameron Hall's presentation. What a poised young man. That was very interesting and great to watch. And thank Kathy Dolan for coming to the board meeting and giving her thoughts about the bus system and things that we could maybe think about, along with transportation department, to continue to try and improve things.
I appreciate that we had the memorial time for Tim and his family. Yeah, so many people, 1,500 employees. A lot of times we don't really know the impact until we have to do something unfortunate like memorial service. And there's just a lot of magic going on between our staff and communities and kids. So our condolences to Tim's family. I was really impressed with Cameron. Speaks a lot better than I do. And Lori, I love your passion and you, the CKLA program. It'll be really interesting to get the update at the end of the year to see what the delta change between beginning of the year and end of the year. Look forward to that.
Just want to congratulate Ms. Triantos also on her award and remind parents that conferences are this week. If some have already happened, but there's always an opportunity to sign up at all of our schools, and also there's virtual opportunities for conferences as well. So please follow up with your students, teachers, and congratulate Northwest Band. Also, that's an awesome thing, as we heard from White Oak's band director a few months ago. I think it's great to see that that is taking off and that we're getting a lot more kids involved. So that is all I have. Thank you. I need a motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Passes 5-0. Thank you.